July 26th, 2022. Here's one of my stands of sunflowers. I've had some insects munching on my plants. And, let's see. There's just a tremendous amount of variance in the plants here. This one here is the smallest. And it had a rough life. The bud on the top of the stalk broke here, and so then after about 3 or 4 weeks it forked and made 2 stalks, and I snipped off one of the 2 stalks because I didn't want the resources of the root system being split between 2 stalks. And so obviously this has not developed well. I've tended to give it more water than the other plants, but it's just not catching up. Also, I've broken off leaves so that the healthier plants weren't casting shadows on it, but it just hasn't caught up. And so the way these sunflowers develop is all the leaves start at the little bud there, and then the stalk just pushes the bud forward and it keeps spawning leaves. It's pretty cool how it works. And then at some point the plant enters puberty and starts developing the flower on top. And the onset of puberty seems to be sort of a time-based thing as opposed to a height-based thing, because I've got, at the other stand, the shorter ones actually are in puberty, while one of the shorter ones has a head on it already, while taller ones are still in their younger stage. So some of the leaves here show signs of distress, and that's because it's been so hot out. It's been very hot, and the leaves get kind of wilt when it gets hot, even though the plants have plenty of water. And bugs have been a problem. But here's the tallest one. This is about 8 or 9 feet, 8 or 8.5 feet tall. It's got a nice head starting. Over here, this started about a week ago. Look at that. The color is just really stunning. And so then the tips of the petals are, some of them are wilted, and that happened on a 100-degree-ish day. It was looking fine, and then all of a sudden it was super hot and those tips wilted. Anyhow, so I've been coming out here every day, unless it rains, with 5-gallon buckets of water, and each stand of sunflowers gets 3 5-gallon buckets. And I've been kind of biased towards the shorter plants. The shorter plants have gotten more water. Maybe they're getting too much water. Maybe they're stunted by excess water. I don't know. So today I'm going to spray some kind of minimally impactful pesticides on the heads so that blossoms don't get eaten. When I was here yesterday, there were just tons of aphids everywhere. So I don't know what percentage of leaf area a sunflower can lose without noticing that it's lost leaf area. All right, time to spray. I'll show you the other stand when I get over to it. Here's my other stand of sunflowers. I had a few plants die while I was out of town for a week, because I wasn't watering them, obviously. And so I planted some new seeds. And these are, how many weeks old? 6 weeks old. And there's a tremendous amount of variance in the 6-week-old plants. So we've got those, which are probably about 10 inches tall. And then there's this one here. It's like 4 inches tall. I don't think it's going to survive. And then 2 planted right next to each other with a pretty substantial difference in height. These down here are doing the best. So then among the healthy plants, there's a pretty large variance. that plant there is about 2 feet shorter than the bottom of the sign. That one is obviously taller than the bottom of the sign. And then on this end, we got the same thing, about 2 feet shorter, maybe 1.5 feet shorter than the bottom of the sign. So this seems like the soil out here is not as good as the soil over by the other stand. I don't understand what caused some plants to die and others to not die during the 1 week drought when I wasn't watering them. Oh well. So as for development, this one's got a head on it, and we got all that pollen there. And then we've got some pubescent ones here. This one's about to explode. This one's just starting to get fuzz. Uh-oh. Please bend back. All right. Another one with some fuzz. This one's a little further along. This one is just transitioning from producing leaves to a flower head. Alright, so I'm going to hit these with some insecticide and maybe put some nitrogen spikes in the ground.